Find your tall seats, hip bones, legs, resting firmly into the floor. Breathing into the chest, breathing into the navel. We'll take 3 rounds of 10 Kapalabhati. Three rounds of 10. So again, Kapalabhati is our rebounding inhale and our forceful exhale through the nose. Don't take the biggest inhale you can right away because we're about to exhale it all the way out. 3 rounds of 10, a full breath in between. After our 3 rounds of 10, you can maintain your eyes closed if you'd like. If you're familiar with alternate nostril breathing, please go ahead and go right in. Taking your right hand, bring your pointer finger and middle finger toward the base of your thumb. Closing off the left side of the nose with the ring finger. Inhale through the right side. Close the right side with the thumb. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left side of the nose. Switch. Exhale out the right side of the nose. Stay to inhale. Switch to exhale. Stay to inhale. Switch to exhale. We'll stay for a couple more rounds. Thinking of inhaling up one side of the nose, exhaling down the other. Inhaling up same side, exhaling down the other. And releasing the hand position, set the hands onto the knees and breathe freely in and out of both sides of the nose. Setting an intention for your practice, a word or a phrase to help motivate you today. And bowing your head to your chest to seal it in. Blink the eyes open, take the head up. We'll come into a diamond pose to begin. Take the soles of the feet together, knees wide about 90 degrees. Hands can hold on to the shins or the ankles, lifting tall. Begin to fold forward over the feet. Hands can walk to the toes or past, keeping the breath moving fully, allowing breath to be our priority. Not the shape, not how the pose looks, but how the pose feels. And more than anything, how we feel in the pose. And on your next inhale, please sit back up. Taking a gentle twist, we can leave the legs in this shape, or if you'd prefer, we can cross the legs. Twisting left hand to the right knee, sit tall, plant the right hand behind you, not to lean back into, but to help lift through the spine. Keeping the right shoulder down, keeping the neck open, and expanding the breath into our twist. If there's pain, if there's something pinching, release the twist a little bit so we can breathe with comfort. And release the twist from this side. We'll switch sides. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind left hip. Sit tall, turn the left shoulder back, opening through left chest. And release the twist. Shift forwards onto hands and knees, please. Come into tabletop. And we'll sit the hips back toward the calves, toward the heels, still lifting through the chest, our elevated variation of child's pose. Left hand maybe slightly more toward the middle than shoulder width. As you inhale, open the right arm back behind, twisting through upper spine. Hips stay. Exhale, release right hand back to the floor. Left hand, inhale, open back. Left shoulder blade moves back toward the spine, reaching back. Exhale, release. Inhale, open the right arm back. Even turn the palm slightly toward the ceiling, so we're maintaining an external rotation. Exhale, release right hand. Inhale, left arm opens back. Exhale, release. Rebuild fully up onto hands and knees. And with the right arm, inhale up toward the ceiling. Now, we're not anchoring the hips here, so they're allowed to shift. Decide if they need to. They don't. Try to twist just through the upper spine. Exhale, release right hand to the floor. Left arm, inhale, twist open. Again, trying to let the hips stay stable, level. Exhale, release left hand. Right arm, inhale, reach up, twist open. Exhale, release. Left arm, inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Cow pose, inhale, lift the chest, taking the inside creases of the elbows forwards, same direction as the fingertips. Cat pose, exhale, round, strength under through the navel. Inhale, back to cow pose. Child's pose, release back, hips toward heels. Inhale forwards, back to cow pose, lift the chest. Cat pose, exhale round, navel under. Inhale back to cow. Tuck the toes, back to downward facing dog. Adjusting where your feet are, if you'd like your feet to be closer to the hands or wider from left to right. Exhale, still pull a bit of strength into the navel, stabilizing lower spine, making sure we're not tilting into a back bend, but staying strong. Knees back to the floor, inhale, lift the chest, cow pose. Cat pose round, exhale, navel under. Inhale back to cow. And child's pose, resting here for a moment. Walk the hands over toward the left side of the mat, reaching long from right hip to right hand, expanding the breath into right side of the body. And walk the hands over to the right, curve long through whole left side. Hands back to the center. Inhale forwards to cow pose, lift the chest. This time, tuck the toes, move straight back to down dog. Inhale, right leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, release to the floor. Left leg, inhale, extend back. Exhale, lower. Walk the feet forwards, come into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Cross the arms at the elbows, let the head and shoulders relax forwards. Nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Release the arms back toward the floor. Inhale to a half lift, extend the heart forward, shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise all the way up, hands overhead. And hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step your left leg back. Runner's lunge, breathing here. As you inhale, think of taking the heart forward, shoulders back. Staying to breathe, pressing right knee forwards, left heel back behind. And plant the left hand to the floor or a block below the shoulder. Inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening through the chest like we did in our child's pose and tabletop. And notice if the hips twisted with you. Try to keep the hips low and stable. Release the right hand back to the floor. Set the left knee to the floor, kneeling lunge. Inhale, raise the torso away from the right thigh. Navel back to bring the sensation in the left hip flexor. Exhale, fold, hands down around the right foot. Move the hips back. Begin to straighten the right knee as you fold to kneeling pyramid. And bend back into the right knee. Hands land, straighten the left knee off the floor. Inhale, right leg back to three-legged dog. Down dog, release. Inhale, plank or a kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Shoulders stay back, elbows around the rib cage. Low cobra, lift through the chest, upper back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Leave the knees, hips back toward heels. Every time we land in a pose, coming back to breath, back to stillness, keeping our focus even if we are not moving. Next inhale, forwards to cow pose. Tuck the toes, straight back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift, top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the arms. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, right leg back, runner's lunge. Staying here to breathe, bending left knee forwards, right heel back. If you need to, lengthen the stance a bit more. Keeping the hips level and strong. Even feel already like you're pulling the feet toward one another to keep that stability. Right hand stays. Twist open through upper spine. Lift the left arm to breathe here. Inhale as though we're expanding out from all limbs, from the crown of the head back to the right foot, between both hands. Exhale, release the left hand and the right knee to the floor, kneeling lunge. Navel draws away from the left thigh. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold, hands down around the left foot. Moving the hips back, begin to straighten the left knee, folding over left leg, breathing here. And bending back into the left knee, walk the hands forward. Straighten the right knee off the floor. Inhale, left leg back to three-legged dog. And down dog, release. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Chest forward, shoulders back, lower all the way down. Low cobra, inhale, shoulder blades back, pulling the hands back to take the heart forwards. Knees stay, exhale, child's pose. Again, landing with breath, with intention. And walk the hands a handprint or two farther out in front. If you do have a block nearby and you're familiar with our block variation, you're welcome to take the block long ways between the hands, bending the elbows so that the block begins to move back toward the shoulder blades. You can also take this variation with fingertips or palms together. And please rebuild back up onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes, make your way back to down dog. On your inhale, take right leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards, crescent lunge, legs strong in their own lanes to be able to stand up. Lift the navel away from the right thigh once again. And twist. Left arm forward, right arm behind. We'll do this 3 times, breathing with our movement. Inhale, heart forwards, lift the arms. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the right. Raise up. One more to the right to stay breathing here. As you do so, hug the navel back. This may intensify left hip. If you need to, we can shorten the stance or adjust the position of the heel. I would suggest keep it active, keep it lifted up over the ball of the foot. Heart forwards, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands down around the right foot. Step straight back to down dog. And other side. On your inhale, take the left leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards, crescent lunge. Inhale to raise up. 3 times active, twisting navel back, right arm forward, left arm behind. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, raise. Exhale, twist. Once more to stay. Exhale, breathe. Heart forwards, inhale, lift the arms back up. Hands land down around the left foot. Step straight back to down dog. On your inhale, shift to a plank or a kneeling plank. Stay to breathe here. If wrists are uncomfortable, we can also come to a forearm plank. We'll stay about 5 more breaths. Aware of the navel, trying to not dip toward the floor, but keep the navel hugged up and under. Active between hands and feet, whole front body. And with your next exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Hands back around the hips for locust pose. We'll stay here about 5 breaths as well. Inhale, hover up, shoulder blades back, heart forwards. And release, hands around rib cage. Move back to down dog. And please walk the hands back to the feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. We'll come into chair pose from the floor, sitting the hips back, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stand all the way up. Interlace last 3 fingers, pointers up. Point up and over to the left. Navel stays strong, curving through right side, breathing here. Check in with your rib cage. If it's popping forwards, draw it back, strength to navel. Notice if we're starting to dip forwards. Keep the right shoulder open. It's almost kind of a contrast between left rib cage hugging in and right arm staying open. Inhale, point up. And point up and over to the right. Exhale to breathe here. Inhale, point up. Back to chair pose, hands to heart center. Without hooking the elbow, gently twist to the left. Right elbow points down, maybe between the feet. Keeping knees and hips level. Inhale, back toward the floor, and twist slightly to the right. So we're isolating lower body, moving upper body, using the muscles to do so instead of the hook of the elbows. Inhale, back to chair pose. Stand all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, walk the hands forwards, back out into plank or kneeling plank. Again, about 5 breaths here. And your next exhale, lower all the way down back to locust pose, hands back around hips, strength through whole back body. And release, hands around rib cage, move back to down dog. Walking the feet forwards, come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Back for chair pose, again your choice, feet to hip width or all the way together. Inhale, lift the arms. Hands can stay up or sink to heart, sit back to chair. Navel draws in as we sit back. Inhale, raise all the way up. Interlace last 3 fingers again. Pointers up. Point up and over to the left. Stay to breathe. Navel draws in even as right shoulder stays open. Inhale to point up. And point up and over to the right. And point back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step left leg back to warrior 1. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Take the arms all the way wide, interlace hands behind the back or grab a strap or towel. Open the chest and the shoulders and fold to humble warrior. Release the hands down around right foot. Move the hips back, slowly straightening right knee for pyramid pose. If you'd like, if it's more comfortable or if it feels best in the hips, step the left foot forwards a few inches. On your inhale, come into a half lift here. Plant the left hand to the floor or a block. We're not coming straight into revolve triangle right now, but take the right hand to the right hip. Similar to what we did in the beginning with our elevated child's pose. Inhale, open through right shoulder. Try to keep the lower body stable. Exhale, level, back chest toward the floor. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, level. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, level. Please fold once again, bending the right knee, coming into runner's lunge. And step the left foot forwards, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right leg back, warrior one. Inhale to stand up. Arms all the way wide, interlace hands behind the back, open, chest and shoulders, and fold on or toward left thigh, humble warrior. And release hands down around left foot, pyramid pose, adjusting where the feet land if you'd like, folding over left leg. Inhale, lift the chest away from the left leg. Bring a block below right hand if you have one. If not, we can keep the hand flat or to fingertips. Take left hand to left hip 3 times. Inhale, twist open through left shoulder. Notice where the hips go. If they try to move, try to keep them stable. Exhale, level toward the floor. Inhale, open, left shoulder, left elbow. Exhale, release toward the floor. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, level. Set the block off to the side. Bend back into a short runner's lunge. And step the right foot forwards. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up. Hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Take the hands to the hips. Step back with the right leg coming into a wide leg stance. Inhale the arms out to the sides, up slightly higher than the shoulders for our standing star pose. As you exhale, take the hands behind the head. Inhale, extend out, keep the navel strong, very simple. Hands behind the head. Yet you might feel a lot in the shoulders or the arms. Inhale, open, no back bends. Hands behind the head. Keep the hands behind the head. Please, as you exhale, twist to the left. Only twist as far as you can with the spine, not the elbows, not the arms. Inhale back to the center. Twist to the right. Inhale to middle, trying to not move hips or legs. Twist to the left. Inhale, middle. Twist to the right. Back to the middle. Shockingly challenging for the core if we're hitting all those muscles. Left, back to middle, and right. Back to middle. Take the hands down to the hips, please. And take the left toes, pivot them to the front of the mat, shrugging the right heel back for triangle pose. Arms up at the height of the shoulders. Exhale, reach forwards, keeping right hip looking forwards, but opening through the inside of the right thigh. As you exhale down, notice if your left knee likes to collapse inwards. Keep that external rotation, grounding into the pinky toe edge of the foot. Arch stays strong and lifted. Bend into the left knee, legs strong. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stack the spine, warrior two. Breathe here. Shoulders soft. Head body feels strong. Continue to bend into the left knee, maybe even take our stance a little bit longer. Feel like we need to draw the legs toward one another, strong in our stance, not just relying on the stickiness of our mat. And return the hands to the hips. Switch sides, toes in front of the heels, and then pivot the right toes to the back of the mat. Left heel slightly back behind, so left hip can look forward still. Arms up at the height of the shoulders. Whoop, hip popped. Exhale, reach forwards and down. Again, notice your right knee. See if it's turning inwards. Let it point out. And let it feel like it's pointing out. It won't point out much, I promise. And bend back into the right knee, please. Right knee stays bent. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stack the spine, warrior 2 to breathe again, even lengthening the stance a bit, taking a little bit more of a challenge with the inside of the legs. Feel like you have to stand strong. We're not just lazily hanging out here. And return the hands to the hips. Pivot toes in front of the heels, interlace hands behind the back or grab a strap or towel. Open the chest and the shoulders. And exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forwards. Hands raise away from the low back, away from the back of the head. And inhale back to a wide leg half lift. Right hand plants below the face onto the floor or a block. And again, like we have been doing, try to isolate the hips so they stay stable and level. Inhale, open the left arm up toward the ceiling, or if you'd prefer, take left hand to hip and rotate open through the shoulder and elbow only, like we did in revolved triangle. Check in with your right leg especially. Try to pull your right foot toward your left foot. It might have clunked your hips back to the center. And release the left hand to the floor or block. Right hand to right hip, roll the chest open to the back of the mat. As we roll open, again, the hips may shift to the right a little bit. Feel like you're trying to pull your left foot toward your right foot, and it'll take us back to the center. And release the right hand back to the floor. Set the block off to the side. We'll pivot left toes back to the front of the mat. Walk around into runner's lunge. Inhale back to a plank or a kneeling plank. Again, 5 breaths here. And exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Locust pose, 5 breaths, hover up. Exhale, release. Child's pose, again for around 5. Don't worry about counting the breaths. I'll do that for you. Rest, recenter back with your intention and the speed, the qualities of breath. And please rebuild back up onto hands and knees. Sit the hips off to one side and we'll come into a tall, wide leg seat. Hands behind the hips to lift tall. And again, notice the rotation of the hips. Here, the hips like to rotate inwards in our fold, But if it's really challenging to try to lift tall out of the spine, they might be pointing outwards. So aware of the legs, the hip joints, like we were in our Warrior Two. See if we can get the knees and the toes to point straight up. This might mean that we just stay right here, helping lift the spine with the arms. And then perhaps we start to fold forwards, hinging at the hips, walking the hands forwards in front of you, or down the legs if you'd prefer. And sitting back up, bring the right foot inside left thigh, seated twist. Left hand to right knee, sit tall, same as the beginning in our diamond pose or our cross leg seat. We're using the back hand, in this case the right hand, to lift tall, not to lean back into, but to help the spine stay lifting toward the ceiling. And turn the head toward the left leg, left toes. Take the left arm on or inside the leg, reaching down. Right arm extends up and over, long through right side. And lifting back up, we'll switch sides, switch legs, right leg out, left foot inside right thigh. Take the right hand to the left knee, sit tall, left hand plants behind you to twist up and open. And turn the head toward right toes. Right arm on or inside the leg, reaching down. Left arm can reach up and over. And inhale to lift back up. Please spin around onto your back so the feet face the direction you'd like for them to be facing during Shavasana. Couple more poses. Release all the way onto your back. We're going to take dynamic bridge pose 5 times, following your breath, your length, your speed, syncing up movement with the length of the breath. As you inhale, raise hips, raise arms. Arms land around the head. Exhale, lower. 4 more times. Landing, cross right ankle, over left thigh. Okay. And release left foot and right foot back to the floor. Knee away, right leg to chest. Release right foot and left foot. Arms wide out to the sides. Pick up the feet. Knees release to the left. Pressing the left arm to the floor. Take the knees back up. Knees release to the right. Right arm into the floor. Take the knees back up. Hug the knees into the chest. And take your preferred variation of Happy Baby, holding the ankles with the knees relaxing wide, or bringing the arms on the inside of the knees, forearms around the front of the shins, and holding on to the pinky toe edges of the feet. Breathing here, every exhale, think of anchoring the shoulders and the back of the pelvis back down toward the floor, creating a fold with the body. Hinge at hip joints, back of pelvis toward floor, shoulders back toward floor. You can even rock a little from side to side, to the right side of the spine, to the left side of the spine, back and forth. And add on any additional shapes or poses you would like to feel comfortable and ready to release for Shavasana. Taking your time when you're ready, landing on your back in your preferred shape. Knees can be bent to the ceiling, slightly knocking in, or let the whole body rest onto the floor. When you're ready, release all the way onto your back. Exhales into the back of the body. Feel where the back of the head lands, where the shoulders and the arms land. Soften the elbows, the wrists, the hands. And observe the hips and the legs and where they rest. Soften the knees, the ankles, the toes and arches. Making any last adjustments to feel completely comfortable through whole body. As you inhale, picture the energy and expansion of the breath moving from heart center out into the fingertips. Picture or feel the breath as you exhale moving back into the very center of the chest. Inhaling, expanding outwards down the arms to fingertips and past. Feel or see the breath expanding outward past the edges of the body. Every exhale returns back to heart center. Inhales expand a little farther every time. Farther than you could picture or imagine. Continue to feel or see this expansion of breath out toward the ends of the universe, to the stars, toward the sun, toward the moon. And exhales collect back into the center of the chest. Now, please rest with your awareness of the breath at heart center. Observe the breath without getting in the way. Observe how it can move naturally without interfering. Now, please release all observation of the breath and simply be aware of this stillness within the body, yet this expansiveness within the self, knowing that your reach, your energy, moves much farther than you could ever imagine. Resting in this spacious awareness of the self. If the mind wanders or is uncomfortable with stillness or silence, give it a space to land with breath, with intention, but see if we can start to become a little more comfortable with this stillness, silence, and clarity now that we've calmed the mind. Please expand the breath back throughout whole body, becoming aware once again of where the limbs rest. Gently, slowly, take a few moments to roll onto one side, gradually moving the limbs, slowly, carefully rolling to one side. And pressing your hands into the ground, coming up to a tall seat, facing the front. We'll return to a couple rounds of our alternate nostril breathing. Again, pointer finger and middle finger of the right hand move toward the base of the thumb. Please close off left side of the nose with right ring finger. Inhale through the right side of the nose. Close the right side, exhale out the left. Inhale through left side. Exhale out the right. Stay to inhale. Switch to exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Couple more on your own. The next time you exhale out the left side of the nose, and take your time to get there, release the hands to the tops of the legs, breathing back in and out of both sides of the nose. And allow the breath to become more effortless. Observe the stillness of the body, the clarity of the mind. Without control of breath or thought, simply observe what comes up. Maybe something does, maybe it doesn't. Observe stillness. Observe clarity. Return to the intention you had set at the beginning of your practice, feeling this intention through whole body, whole mind. And bring the palms of the hands together at heart center. And bowing your head to your chest, taking your intention and your practice with you. Namaste. Hi guys, thanks for practicing with me today. If you'd like to see more videos, if you'd perhaps like to see more of Miko's arm being shoved under the door, I'll link a couple right here. I'll link my page. I'll link the most recent series or video. And subscribe if you'd like to let yourself know when I put out a new video. What do you think, Miko? Do you think that's a good idea? I think that's a good idea.